our two favorite siblings, brothers, or one might say, our favorite green Mega Man, BlitzLuigy, and our favorite blue Peach, Ling. BlitzLuigy actually taking a set off Ling last week, so that did happen. This is by no means, some people will just walk into this being like, ah, Ling, he's gonna win the set. I will not bet on that anymore. Blitz is starting to show that he is capable of taking those sets. Ling still, of course, being the favorite, our #1 seed, but we're reaching an era where #1 seed is not a promise. We're starting out this, as we said before, Kiwi and SA were two players that played each other so often that they really knew the matchup in and out. This is, in my opinion, just a perfectly good case of the exact same thing. Not only both these players having played each other quite a bit, but BlitzLuigy having played other Peaches, Ling playing other Mega Man, knowing that up B exists, going all the way up there to take quite an early stock. Disjointed downer does get beat out by BlitzLuigy's even more disjointed up smash. However, with only 59%, this is looking a little funny. Very, very quick leaf shield cancel to get that grab. And that active up smash still going to be taking it. It is worth noting, he might have, despite the fact that there was such a bad early stock, what's it called? This is a best of 5, so by no means is it as drastic as it sometimes might feel. Ooh, ready for the spot dodge.
At this point, this is becoming the new Vortex Winners Finals.
New? That's just the one that I'm used to.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Blitz does a great job in terms of, I mean, he finally managed to get a dub after a long period of time versus Ling last week. And, you know, I'm sure he's looking for the second one, but he's having a bit of trouble here.
Yeah. To be fair, it's actually been fairly even in terms of neutral wins one in terms of what's it called, advantage states. The one thing is Ling caught a Blitz going with a high up B with a Peach up B, taking stock at like 60 or something like that.
Yeah, this is one of those matches where everyone is going to move further by an inch. It is rare when it's otherwise, and because of that, it makes these kind of situations a lot more scary. Blitz almost looking for something sneaky. Didn't get it there, but I've seen him get something off the top kill Ling as early as like 10.
Sometimes when he gets his stock taken early, he wants to just do it right back. However, neutral air at ledge. Gonna start the ledge trap, but let's see how far we can bring it.
Yeah, that fair is such a great anti-air, especially it's fast enough to kind of like contest the Peach fair, which is huge versus Ling, and just versus match in general.
However, this time not using the fair as an anti-air, but rather Peach fair being used as just a large active hitbox. Yeah, gonna secure the second stock.
This is the hard part. I mean, anyone versus Ling, anyone who's played Ling knows Ling with the lead is a losing battle. You know, you're gonna be there for a while. Oh, Ling actually did it there almost a bit too early. Because of that, got all the resources, got that back here.
BlitzLuigy sees a losing battle. He is not scared of that. He's actually able to even up, despite the fact that he did have that early death. However, just evening up is not quite enough. Let's see who's actually able to take this last stock.
Yeah, considering the fact that it's not all too much of anyone's lead here, I honestly think this is anyone's game. Just because these two characters and these two players, by nature, love doing these small exchanges in terms of like, all right, you know, I don't mind playing a bit patient. I don't mind kind of like hitting you with my little hits here and there. Ling obviously wants to look something big, but, you know, he understands the Peach matchup for this is he can't afford to all the time.
However, with these small hits that you've been talking about, for a very small second there, Blitz did actually grab the lead. However,
yeah, that is exactly how Blitz plans on playing this matchup. It's going to be a lot of like, all right, you know how Mega Mans in general play a lot of matchups. They're not going to necessarily excel at getting all these like, you know, combos within like 20-hit combos. They'll do those like little nairs, those, you know, all the pellets, fairs afterwards, and eventually, you know, even it up or overtake you. It's a very relenting play style, and you know, Blitz does it efficiently with his, you know, pretty much he's like one of the most, I guess, movement-heavy Mega Mans that I know. I've seen a lot of them.
Happy early.
Yeah, you know, especially considering like he loves to press buttons all the time. So
pressing buttons, but at the same time, like it's sometimes hard to say like people hear pressing buttons, they assume mashing. Like, BlitzLuigy is making good decisions. He's not just pressing, you know, funny button every second because he can.
Yeah, Blitz
He's a smart player.
Definitely a masher. You can mash well, though.
Yeah, like,
he's
bad mashing versus good mashing. I should make that difference.
Here's the thing, you know, Ling kind of loves playing against these kind of players because he loves to try and punish them. But, oh man, this is honestly anyone's game.
Yeah, having the 20% lead pretty much means nothing when you're both this into kill percent.
Yeah, and that's the confirm.
Yes.
Metal Blade. And
falling Metal Blade, you can get anything you want out of that. This time, BlitzLuigy choosing fair.
Yeah, as Ajax chiming in here, I mean, Blitz is kind of understanding, you know, I think as long as the stocks are even, at last stock, it really does, you know, it can go either way. I think if Ling has a lead, it's a lot harder. If Blitz has a lead, I think Ling does a little bit better in terms of being able to come back. But, yeah, game 2, where did they go? Did they run it back? Yeah, they did.
They ran it back. If Grand Finals last week means anything, we're going to see a lot of PS2, and if we don't see PS2, it will be small battlefield. So, be ready for the stage quite a bit.
Yeah, you know, same old, right? It's a lot of these ways, like how am I going to get in? That's Ling's question. Blitz's question, you know, how am I going to keep Ling out?
However, sometimes, I mean, you say keep Ling out, but right now, I'm seeing things like Tomahawk grabs, shield pressure coming out from BlitzLuigy, a character that, you know, Mega Man not like a zoner at the end of the day, but
Mega Man definitely has a lot of safe moves on shields, and
he doesn't have to play like
tools, that. And I think a big part of that is if anyone is trying to get too close to him, Blitz has that boxing game. He's used to scrapping, and that's how he kind of gets that mileage where it's like, okay, I got them away, now I can kind of reset and play my game again. Unfortunately, Ling, you know, just, oh my gosh, beautiful text.
That's great text. Those are two really weird ones to hit because it's like a ceiling that you can't even actually see.
Yeah. This game, you know, it's all
turn.
Funny turnip. Oh, he baited it out, as you saw right there. That was actually pretty clever by Blitz. Understanding the situation, getting that down tilt off just to get it out of play. He threw it up. I'm not sure that's the best decision. You know, that's like playing with fire. I'd get rid of that as soon as possible. But Blitz, you know, he loves his item play. He uses Metal Blade all the time. And look at that.
Able to set the situation. Let's see if he's able to get something out of it.
An interesting reversal. Almost got that little tri-state twister. But, you know, not too much going there. And Ling going to find it with that Peach Bomber.
I will say, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but, like, I've seen Blitz do that roll behind, that tri-state twister several times, but he doesn't actually go for the grab. Yeah, he's waiting for another option out of it.
Maybe you should start, you gotta tell him about the tri-state twister. It's really not that. Actually, he knows about it. Hey, wait a second.
He doesn't do it ever. He always rolls behind and then waits.
Yeah, I gotta give him some flack after this. I just have to. But you know, here's that part where most people kind of like end up getting a bit hurt is how are they going to punish Ling? How are they going to seal the stock? But it's looking for the up smash out of shield. I mean, it's definitely not a bad idea, but it's something where you have to know when it's going to work. These situations right here, as they're getting more and more into it, you know, this is where Ling excels. He's the person who's going to take every single thing that you give him. You know, if you get antsy, he loves that.
However, anti-air fair going to be the answer. However, 83% extra credit, by no means something Ling's super unhappy about.
Especially in this matchup. Both of these players, you know, especially Blitz, he's going to love to play it by inches. This percentage puts so much pressure on him to try and catch everything back up, and he gets too risky, and he just eats that bear.
The high recovery is not going to work out well. Entire stock down now.
Now here's the thing where, you know, it's a full stock deficit. You know, some people at this point either try to play even. You got to remember, there's a little bit less than 4 minutes on this clock, so maybe Blitz can kind of slow it down, try to see if he can, you know, manage to get the right hits in rather than a multitude of them. Ling just, you know, being okay with being towards the edge of the stage. Blitz tries to run in and make something happen, but because of that, loses that center stage, loses that stage control.
Now playing with the tournaments a little bit himself, actually getting himself a small combo with it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, anything helps here, especially versus, you know, playing, especially in a stock deficit. Man, someone as masterful of items as Blitz and both of these people, I'm sure he doesn't mind whether it's a turnip or a metal blade.
86%. We're still not at a point where we can really say kill percent. There are a few, you know, metal blade up tilts and all those things, but...
And we see him looking for it, finally going for a grab, one of the few that we've seen in these sets. And he's been doing a good job of trying to keep Ling grounded and you know, trying to swat him out of the air. And that's a great S-smash. He's going right off stage, has the pressure on Ling. Ling is in the middle of floating. Nothing to go off that though.
Yeah, once again sets another ledge trap, now just on the other side of the stage.
And as we're getting into this, it's just a turnip v metal blade situation. Fair, not going to do anything. Blitz patient enough in the corner, keeps the shield going here, and you can tell he really wants to get this stop.
Number 2 doesn't actually want to play with the what's it called, Saturn, but actually got a stitch and immediately threw that too.
Yeah, at this kind of situation, it's really not about like what he has. He just kind of wants to see Blitz get a bit more antsy, press a little bit more buttons, and just keep his percent lead going.
Air dodge again, slightly unsafely, but he's actually not going to get punished for that.
And Blitz not confident that the Metal Blade would hit. Misses that confirm, and that's the Peach Bear going to finish it up with an up air.
Coming out all the way out with Peach up air. That's not a thing that you really expect Peach to do. When you expect to come out there to use fair lock, but up air is more active upwards. And catch a landing.
It's also really good versus BlitzLuigy, and Mega Man in general loves, you know, is able to kind of go high. Doesn't even have a hitbox necessarily, and doesn't try to move forward as much without just simply moving forward with the stick. So with that in regards, I mean, I think that up air was a great idea.
Smart move. I mean, some people would say, the thing beat the up air is the down air, but that down air from Mega Man, literally the slowest down air in the game, so makes a lot of sense.
Is it actually
slowest down air in the game?
Wow.
I think it's the slowest aerial in the game.
Stop battle. Mega Man.
It's probably the slowest down air. I would doubt.
I'm 99% sure it's slowest down air. I'm pretty sure it's the slowest aerial.
That's, you know.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yes, I mean, that does not mean that down air is a bad move. It is positive on
positive
shield.
on
It is a
shield.
projectile. It's a silly move.
And finally, we are moving away from PS2. We're getting right into this from in Town and City. Another slow game. This is a situation where I feel like, you know, Blitz is looking to kill off the sides. Ling kind of likes that too. Neither of these people are really trying to kill off the top. Maybe Blitz with an up tilt confirm, or, you know, just not a shield. But it gives this flat platform layout.
However, a lot of people will say, like, the thing that you want to avoid is bringing Peach to FD. The stage is sometimes FD, so I have to wonder, like, is the zoning capability, the ability to hold stage, worth it for the Mega Man player compared to those silly Peach combos that we all feared?
I think the big thing here is less of the FD layout and more of that platform that we're seeing out right now. This formation is beautiful for circle camping. You're going to see Ling take full advantage of that right now.
When we say see Ling taking full advantage, we do want to remember this was actually BlitzLuigy's counter effect.
Yeah, I think outside of that, you know, we're just getting right into like these scenarios where, you know, once they finally do get into the center, maybe Blitz getting a bit agitated from this kind of play and, you know, taking one step too much forward.
Yes. To be fair, once again, Town, despite being bigger blast zones, does actually have the relatively short side blast zone. I'm not persuaded that would have killed on a different stage.
Yeah, it's, you know, like we were saying earlier, is this really the best pick in this scenario for Blitz? But and he has this game to play with either way, and I honestly don't think it's the worst pick. These platforms are something that both of these players kind of love playing with. I think the more important thing here is, you know, at any point for BlitzLuigy is, can he seal these stocks faster than Ling can or without taking too much percent? I know it kind of sounds like every person kind of doing this, but in reality, this is how he can win the matchup.
Sometimes, I mean, a lot of times when you're thinking about what happens at top level play, it's by nature kind of simple to understand, but actually applying it to the level that these people apply it, it's not something that very many people can do very well.
Especially when you have some characters like Peach, who has a multitude, so many different ways, like a plethora of like movement options, ways that you can evade somebody in. And, you know, it's so hard to kind of finish them off when they try to trick you up like that. The disadvantage for them is apparently something that's tricky. But managing to finally get an edge ledge shot situation. But still, just, you know, not being able to finish this out, and he's already at 88%.
Gets Metal Blade, but he's not able to get quite there quite in time.
And
the
it messes up that
pop-up
bear
there.
confirm. Yeah, that, you know, if you mess it up a little bit, that's what will happen. Maybe the fastball could help confirm it to the second one, but either way, you know, that's not something you want to see with your blitz.
It's going to be a rough situation. However, hey, he did try to sister. Didn't work, but he tried.
Yeah, eventually.
Finally
I mean,
getting the bear.
that's like 180. That's like Sword Fighter kill percentage. You gotta.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was just one of those habitual things where he set up the rush. Ling was too fast. You can't really, like, you know,
Yeah.
autopilot that type of situation.
There's Bob-omb. Will actually connect.
Yeah, 30%. You know, at least it doesn't kill like a lot of other bomb situations. But man, I know that hurts the mentality. And you know, he's getting something. At least Ling's in the corner. At least he's able to get this up smash.
Yes, it's not like we haven't seen BlitzLuigy in this very set make a similar comeback, so I don't by any means want to count him out. However, we're getting to a point where it's just like, not only is this lead here, but because it wasn't SD, it feels like I got outplayed to get here.
Yeah,
It's a different feeling.
and with that, I mean, we had that little FD layout for a little bit while calling in that roll and going for it again with the turnip to cover for him. Ling playing with so much confidence right now.
Getting the drag down in back air, which does combo into another one, however, it's still not going to be enough to kill.
And he just, you know, he's looking for something. He understands he's getting these spares, all these moves that won't kill, and oh, there's that twister.
There it is, finally succeeding getting it. 119%, by no means is this game over, however, it's going to be a rough comeback if he wants to make it.
Yeah, with about 2 minutes on the clock, really not the most to play with, but I know it's something that maybe these two players aren't really looking at right now. Yeah.
Another stitch, and honestly, Ling doesn't even care.
I just don't care either. I'm just numb to it at this point. You know,
Those
it's not good
Peach
to give it
mains
any
and
mind.
their RNG. Ugh, how unfair.
Yeah. You know, look at now Blitz trying to use these platforms, trying to camp him out a little bit. You know, maybe waiting for the transformation to end. There's maybe trying to wear Ling down. Unfortunately, looking like Ling not getting too phased. 145, you can't really afford to get hit by anything.
Yeah, not only when you said 145, it's not just the damage, but it's actually the amount of time that's on the clock as well.
Yeah, I feel like,
BlitzLuigy doesn't have the ability to stall for too much longer.
yeah, I think Ling is taking notice of this, playing very defensive. Right there, not even floating in, just opting to kind of move around. I feel like he knows the clock is ticking, and maybe Blitz doesn't yet.
Remember, 115 by no means. I mean, I guess we're now getting to that point. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Saw the up air. You never know what's going to happen when you get hit by that up air. I will say, we're in the point where Metal Blade up till a kill confirm now.
And Ling trying to use this little patience maneuver, just try to like toy with him for a second there, and immediately after. My gosh, with going into this upper opportunity, looking like it could have been something. This is getting extremely close. Only 45 seconds, but I doubt we're going to hit time here.
Yeah, 45 seconds, however, 158, especially with the 158 rage, there are many moves that both these characters have that can kill.
Yeah.
Throw's not going to be it.
But it is going to buy a lot of time. All those pummels are going to add up. Not necessarily for percent, but for just time. And I think Blitz needs like a Metal Blade or something to be able to do anything this time.
Back throw almost at 200% right now.
Yeah, this is a grab situation for sure. Ling just
13
biding
seconds
his time.
left.
I think he's definitely understanding the clock is on.
Every one of these rolls is so terrifying. Call one out with the back or something, that might be it.
Yeah, he's just gonna SD.
Yeah. He realizes when you go down to there, starts floating. That's the 5, Ling. Bullying. Fist bump. All right.
Game 4 here.
Game 4.
Back to town. I mean,
Stop
you
the
have
battle.
to
Mega
put
Man.
pressure on. If you don't do it, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
I mean, as I say that, to be fair, in that last minute, he did bring it to a situation where, like, one read could have been it.
Yeah.
So we can't really blame him for the slow gameplay. It's just like, now that we've seen what happened, it's like,
Yeah,
here we go again.
It's one of those scenarios where it's a gamble, right? And a lot of situations are a gamble, but once you play a bit too slow, you're behind. That's the only kind of like you got to watch out for. Two defensive players, you know, aren't necessarily going to attempt to go at each other so often. They'll be able to change that. Blitz with him playing, Ling, I should be saying. The very deep edge guard. Gonna get some percent going for him. And if this center exchange, these you know, kind of boxing, scrapping situations, looking like they're going a little bit more towards Ling at this moment. Even just reversing that crash bomb, completely understanding how to use this as they've played so many times now. Now, Blitz is just trying to fight his way towards center stage. Ling gonna give it to him for a second. And now Blitz here has a situation, has a scenario. Can he make anything out of this? Just gets those little damages here and there. And a great double jump to kind of go over that fair.
Oh, trying to get the Metal Blade combo. Kind of an interesting thing, getting it right off the platform.
Yeah, not going to have as much knockback as the turnip that he's used to. He's going to make that a little adjustment in time, but I mean, I don't really think he necessarily had to, bless you. He's doing a good job. 147. I think Ling's able to take the stock and a good dash attack.
One good dash attack, although with good DI, I'm not persuaded dash attack will kill. However, you have to be scared. This is, once again, having high percent means that rage. Some kill confirms that aren't normally there.
Yeah, and Blitz putting on
not catching.
so much pressure. Oh my gosh. He might be able to want to take this stock first.
However, as we say it, the fair at center stage, actually. Taking the stock, 116 on Peach. Let's see how much extra credit Ling's able to make.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too upset if that had Blitz right now. You know, he can make a stock come out of this if he plays his cards right.
Ooh, I think probably trying to do a dash back after that roll that got caught by the back air. Bad DI causing...
Maybe even an air dodge.
Maybe even an air dodge.
Either way, you know, this game is back to pretty much even. Not too much of a deficit. This is exactly what Blitz wants. And Ling, again, looking like he might just start playing towards that corner. Actually, no, going towards the center. Doesn't switch the Crash Bomber.
A very good leaf shield there, recognizing that he's going to get a shield poke with how small that shield was.
And as they're getting just more and more into this, Ling losing all of his resources.
But he's able to get onto the ledge. Goes right into leaf shield there.
Yeah, and at this point in time, they're almost dead even. Only 4 minutes left. There's about 2 minutes per stock. And I think they're going to use all the time they're going to need. And Blitz has adjusted. Ling being forced to kind of scrap, being forced to attempt to take the lead back at this point in time.
But what we'll say, sometimes though, like Ling, it's so obvious Ling is playing faster. Making it though, he does an unsafe dash attack. He doesn't necessarily have to when he's only like 30% down. Yeah. However, now that he's a full stock down, we're gonna have to truly see some changes in the gameplay.
This is where Blitz attempts to, you know, where he excels. A similar situation as Ling, except he's someone who loves to be able to get these small percentages, and when you are attempting to try to finish a stock off a character like this, the damage will pile.
I will say, I'm seeing like a lot more like empty short hops and tomahawk grabs coming out from Blitz, and it seems like that's one of the ways that I can kind of see like, he does this thing when he's confident. So, has some momentum, has a bit of confidence, even just throwing us some Vortex in order to stuff out that up smash.
Yeah, a great little block string coming his way, and Ling finally getting a good enough fair, setting up at the edge guard with the float. And Blitz is the one who finishes. Oh!
Ooh, but it's not going to be quite enough quite yet. Let's see the Blitz trap.
Yeah, still getting into this. That was extremely dangerous, and now here's where Blitz is just, you know, putting so much pressure. All these up smashes not going to finish yet, but he's telling Ling, hey, this is getting close. It's my turn.
Right now, fully lapped in percent and holding center stage, unless he walks inside these. That's going to be the stock.
Now, if we've known anybody in this room who can, like, make a comeback off of one hit, it can be Ling.
Now we're actually choosing to go for the safe damage, turn up into dash attack, trusting himself to be able to win neutral a few more times.
Gets that Metal Blade and inches a little bit forward with it. Not going to get too much, but this is another edge guard scenario. No uppy from Blitz, my gosh, Ling is just trying to be all over him. Blitz still trying to land, using the platform to its fullest. Ling putting a lot of pressure, keeping this center. And right off that, a grab. This game is pretty much even. Less than 2 minutes on the clock as well. I don't think this will go to time with the pace that these players are playing. Blitz starting to slow it down a little bit. A few more shield, maybe not as confident. He's seeing Ling come back from this, and he definitely doesn't want to, but I feel like he needs to play with, you know, oh my gosh.
Well, that spot dodge could have been anything, but not quite ready to press the trigger.
We're seeing all these spares coming out from Blitz. I feel like a switch up is coming very soon. Oh my gosh,
Not
the risk
actually
here.
punishing the dash attack.
This is getting scary. Now this, you know, these are those tense situations where, yeah,
Oh,
I was just gonna get to it. Like, typically in these tense situations, the higher seed player is the one who's calm and collected. They're
Used
the
to
ones who finishes.
and sometimes the ones who finish, sometimes having a bit of calmness behind them, knowing that, like, if I lose this, it's not the end of the world, while the one who's in a slightly worse place, if Blitz lost that, which did end up happening, that's his winner side stock.
Don't listen.